If you feel unmotivated, tired, easily distracted, and nothing excites you the way it used to, it might not be burnout. It might not be depression. It might be dopamine damage. And porn is one of the biggest triggers. Dopamine is not the pleasure hormone. It's the motivation chemical. It drives ambition, discipline, focus, sexual desire, and competitive energy. When dopamine signaling is strong, you feel sharp, driven, alive. But modern porn delivers something your brain has never experienced before in human history: unlimited novelty, endless variation, extreme stimulation, instant reward. Your brain is not built for that. Every time you consume porn, your dopamine spikes far above natural levels, higher than food, higher than real intimacy, higher than achievement. And when something spikes too high, it crashes. Your brain adapts to survive. It downregulates dopamine receptors. That means the same stimulus produces less response over time. So you need more. More extreme content. More time. More frequency. But here's the real problem. Your brain doesn't just become less sensitive to porn. It becomes less sensitive to everything. Work feels boring. The gym feels harder. Conversations feel flat. Real relationships feel underwhelming. This is called reward system desensitization. And it's real. Brain imaging studies on compulsive pornography users show altered activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for discipline, impulse control, and long-term decision-making. You're literally weakening the part of your brain that makes you a high-functioning man. Now let's connect this to testosterone. Dopamine and testosterone are biologically linked. Healthy dopamine signaling supports motivation, sexual drive, and hormonal balance. But chronic overstimulation creates stress patterns in the brain: higher cortisol, poor sleep, reduced drive. Over time, this suppresses hormonal stability. You start noticing lower libido, fewer morning erections, less confidence, reduced competitive energy. And here's the brutal irony. Many men use porn because they feel low energy or stressed. But porn is one of the reasons they feel that way. It becomes a loop. Low drive artificial stimulation, dopamine crash, even lower drive repeat. Now let's talk about erectile issues. Porn trains your brain to respond to novelty, pixels, and constant escalation. Real intimacy is slower, less extreme, less visually exaggerated. So the brain struggles to respond. This is why more young men report erectile dysfunction despite having no cardiovascular disease. In many cases, it's not a blood flow problem. It's a conditioning problem. Your arousal template gets rewired, and rewiring takes time to reverse. Now, I'm not saying occasional exposure automatically destroys your life. The issue is frequency and dependency, daily use, multiple sessions per week, escalating content, using it as stress relief, using it as boredom relief. That's when the damage accumulates. So what actually fixes this? First, reduce exposure significantly, not cut back a little. Reduce it enough to allow your dopamine system to recalibrate. Second, replace artificial spikes with natural dopamine sources: heavy resistance training, sunlight exposure, cold showers, real social interaction, skill building, competition, progress. These create moderate, sustainable dopamine increases, not extreme spikes followed by crashes. Third, fix sleep. Deep sleep restores dopamine receptor sensitivity. If you stay up late consuming stimulation, you block recovery. 5 to 6 hours per night, while overstimulating your brain, is a perfect recipe for chronic fatigue. Fourth, rebuild tolerance for effort. Dopamine thrives on effort-based reward, hard tasks, delayed gratification, structured goals. When everything in your life becomes instant and effortless, your brain becomes weak. Now here's what typically happens when men stop overstimulating. Week 1, irritability, cravings, restlessness. That's withdrawal. Your brain is recalibrating. Week 2 to 3, mental clarity improves. Energy stabilizes. Focus increases. After about a month, stronger motivation. More natural attraction to real partners. Better gym performance. More stable mood. Not because of magic, because your baseline dopamine function improves. Modern technology is hijacking male neurobiology, not just porn. But porn is one of the most concentrated forms of artificial reward available, and most men underestimate its impact. If you feel numb, unmotivated, less driven than you used to be, ask yourself one honest question: how often am I overstimulating my brain? You don't have to eliminate technology, but you do have to protect your biology. Dopamine drives your ambition. Ambition shapes your future. Protect it, or slowly lose it. Your choice.